All right. Welcome back to episode number 18 of the Blossoming Into You show. Today we have with us Steph tuning in from Miami, and we're going to be talking about how to show up even when there's fear present. So, Steph, with that being said, welcome to the show. I'm super honored to have you today.
That's awesome. Thank you. This is the first time I've been on a show. So obviously, there's some nerves and everything, but I think the most important thing was to know that all I had to do was breathe. And if I do come
Mhm,
on and I'm a little nervous, I can always just take that breathing exercise into the conversation.
mhm,
So one of the things that really helps me when I'm feeling a little nervous and just to relax everybody else is to invite them to breathe with you. So kind of just allowing yourself to think of your favorite song um, that calms you down. And one of mine is Breathe In by Ariana Grande. So
mhm.
just keep breathing and breathing and breathing. And then let go, and you can have like your like boss bitch song, like whatever hypes you up, and just be like, I got this.
Yeah, I love that you jump right into talking about breathing stuff because that was my morning intention this morning. I set the intention that today I choose to breathe in love and I choose to breathe out fear. It's like I didn't even see what topic we were going to talk about today yet when I set that intention. So like so beautiful to continue to see how much like just by setting that intention, like I source what we're talking about today. Um, that's a side note, but I love that. Just like how you describe, breathing, I felt myself dropping into my breath. Like just tuning that awareness simply to our breathing grounded me in that split moment. So could you share, like I know we jump right into this because today we have a shortened time frame today. Speaking to what are some of your biggest fear that you have experienced in your journey and as you continue to blossom, maybe as you continue to grow your business, what are some of the biggest fear that you have came upon?
So I think this describes like all of my big fears like perfectly within a short amount of time. Is yesterday was my birthday and it was
Oh,
awesome. And I'm doing a self-love dance party for Valentine's Day. So obviously, I'm promoting and I'm not too nervous about like, oh, is anyone not going to show up? Like I had my price, I raised it, I'm going on that trajectory because I know there's going to be a lot of energy to call in
mhm,
so we can get more scholarships for people. But there was still that little girl that was like, I don't even know how old I was. I was just kind of sitting alone at like on her birthday, like waiting and nobody showing up. And
mhm,
then going to the bar at 21 with my big sorority sister and being the only ones there. Kind of like, people would rather hang out with other people because I'm not cool enough or not fun enough. But really, I was just so shy that it was hard to let myself out to let people show me. So it took a lot of like, I'm sure you've kind of had it as well. Like, when YouTube and Instagram come up, it's kind of like, you want to show yourself, but you can't too much because
mhm.
then you're going to look like you want attention. But then if you don't show up, you're going to look like you don't care. So it's really navigating, well, what do I do? And part of me was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to do whatever I want and just be naked on the internet. But I'm like, but that doesn't really work either. You know what I mean? So it was really just trusting my body and literally making it hard for me to find my phone.
Mhm,
So putting it like on the bottom of like my laundry or like when I knew that like I didn't actually have to be on my phone, either turning it on do not disturb, just making it very hard for me to put myself in that mindset where I'm going to be comparing
mhm,
or thinking about, how many people did sign up, how many people didn't sign up. And all I need to know is that day when I log into Zoom that I'm there, right?
Yeah.
It does not matter if people sign up because I'm doing it anyway, whether I make, a dollar or 1,000, $1,000,000. Like, it's the energy, it's something that I would do regardless of the pay.
I
And
love
knowing that
yeah.
was so powerful. It was like, it really doesn't matter because once I get in my zone, I don't know, I see me on the screen. I don't know if there's 100 people or 1 person, you know?
Mhm, mhm. No, that's such a genius strategy. When you set the intention, it's almost like you put the blinders on and you do whatever fun ways to keep yourself focused and not be distracted by like checking the numbers and feeling, doubting yourself, being unsure like whether or not people are going to show up, and just trusting that. Like you said, regardless of how many people do show up on your self-love dance party, I think, or
Yeah,
what
you
you're
got it.
hosting, which is so exciting. It's that you're going to show up 100% anyway. So why
Yeah,
matters? Like, why keep yourself in that anxious worry and stress leading up to that event, and just stress yourself out so that you don't end up showing 100% if you do distract yourself with that comparison and the numbers checking. So I love that
yeah,
strategy. And there was one thing that came to my mind that we discussed just yesterday on episode 17, when we talked about how like the moment that we do show up 100%, that's also like the fear that means we are finally going to receive everything that we want. And that's like what holds us back sometimes. Like when we do show up 100%, when we do show up despite the fear, that means we are going to get everything that we've been wanting, and that can be very scary to some people. I don't know, Steph, if you have that sort of fear happening as well.
all the time. So, I've always wondered for me, myself and especially other women, what why is it so scary to get everything that you want? And
Mhm,
it's really like because then you can stop working. And for a lot of people, especially me, who like went straight from kindergarten to like going to get their doctorate, I was like, well, if I don't work, how can I still be hardworking? Because in my family, it's like, you have to work all the time. Like it's like always like you have to make the straight A's. But what if
mhm.
there's no more grades anymore? What if we don't need a boss to promote us to be a CEO? What if we just wake up one day and decide I'm going to be the CEO of my new company because I say so? Like,
Yes, preach.
if everyone did that, like everyone could take responsibility for their own wealth,
Mhm,
and have, even if they had $0, if they had that mindset, then it could happen. It's just how do we reach those who really need it and who may be at the bottom when it comes to self-confidence?
mhm,
Because, that's the real disease that happens. It's just that getting ourselves stuck and also other people getting on our case. Like,
mhm.
why do you care if your friend Susie from high school sells bananas on the street? Like, she's living her own life. That's her business. If she asks you if she wanted to buy her bananas, you can say no, but you don't have to get all angry about it?
Yeah, yeah. I literally got chills and so much joy in my body when you said like, we get to promote our own selves like every level, every day, however ways we want to promote us. And that's the ultimate sovereignty, like the power is in our hands. And I felt excited because truly do believe that people like me and you, we are here to birth this new planet, this new human like consciousness where we are at choice, we are at power to decide like upgrading us means an upgrade in our energy, in our ways of being, and it's that reflects into the external world. Like our bank account is only a reflection of how abundant we feel, how abundant that we are being energetically. And when people, more and more people start to recognize that, then they really realize like everything it's 100% their responsibility and that they generated it based on what's happening inside of us. And it's very exciting. It can be scary, but it can also be very empowering to know that everything that's in our lives right now, we chose it in some way. So Steph, as we are wrapping up, I know this was super short, but we get to keep it, short and sweet and straight to the point. How would you share with our audience today tuning in if they are finding themselves stumbling upon like some fear? There's like a wall that they are not getting past because of the fear. What are some tips and strategies that they can implement starting today? I know you mentioned the breathing. Like, what are some other tools that you can offer the audience?
I think the best thing to do is don't go through the fear alone.
Mm,
You can get on with, there's going to be someone else in the world that's afraid to show up, maybe in the lunchroom at school or maybe online. But also being able to go to other places. So I do have privilege for, I'm Hispanic, but passing more as white. And although I do not have a lot of money at all because I'm in a lot of student debt, um, I have, even though I've struggled with, my self confidence and my ability to feel like I can change the world, there's other people too that are in that place that you don't necessarily have to be preaching at them like, "Oh, just bring yourself up." Just sitting with them and saying, "Hey, like, let me be here in this fear with you." So, being able to be in the fear, not sit in it, but be into it until you can stand up. And don't do that alone. There's a whole community that are, we're happy to help. So I think that's kind of the best way to really describe it.
oh, I love it. I love that so much. And like you said, being courageous enough to sit with the fear, but like leveraging the support of other people, knowing that you're not alone, that makes the journey 100 times less scary. So really find your what work, like what resonates with you. Find your people. Find those that are on the same path as you, and simply setting that intention. Simply like intending that I'm going to find myself this tribe, this supportive community, and you will find it. So with that being said, this was so powerful, and thank you, Steph, for like the laser pack, strategies and tips for our audience. I think like ultimately at the end of the day, when our audience can take away something that they can implement right then and there, that golden nugget itself, it's like that's all we are asking for. So thank you for delivering that.
Exactly.
And thank you for all that you do, Steph. Like I always love to acknowledge my guests and my speakers for coming on. It's the work that you are doing with your own journey and the work that you're doing for other people that are making this planet a better place to be for my future kids, for future kids, future generations. So thank you.
Thank you. I love how we both asked for what we needed and we both got what we needed, right?
Yeah, 100%. So everyone, thank you also for tuning in as always. Like, thanks for dedicating this time for you and prioritizing what lifts you up, what gives you joy, what gives you pleasure. So way to go for showing up today. And until next time, I will see you on episode 19.
Thank you.
Bye.